Today, I'm comparing the difference between a debit card and a credit card and what banks don't want you to know. Like, for example, when used correctly, you can travel for free. Or you can get cash back for Christmas like I did with over $500 I'm about to cash out this December. And here's the real key. I never carry a balance on my credit cards or pay any interest payments ever. And in this video, I'm going to share with you how you can do this too and what banks don't really want you to know about. Now, I have a video on this exact topic that I did a year ago, but the problem with a year ago is I was new to YouTube, still figuring things out, and let's be honest, that video kind of stinks. So I want to make this one hopefully a little bit better. You ready to get started? Let's go. First, we're going to talk about the difference between debit and credit. Then I'm going to go over the tool that I use to make sure that I'm always paying off my credit card in full every month and how I got over $500 in cashback rewards. And I'm also going to share with you an alternative. Maybe you can't apply or get approved for a credit card. Well, what do? Don't worry, we're going to discuss it all. Now, let's start with the difference between debit and credit. First, a debit card, anytime you swipe that debit card, it pulls money out of your bank account that it's linked to. So let's say you have $100 in your bank account, that debit card will allow you to buy anything up to $100 and then likely it will decline because it's directly linked to that checking account. A credit card is based on a credit line. Now some credit lines can be quite high, anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 to $20,000 or more, but it's not money that you actually own. You're borrowing money on that credit card, and that can be a little bit sticky. I actually don't ever recommend borrowing money or going into debt because what happens is the average interest rate on a credit card is about 14%. And who wants to pay 14% every year to carry a balance on a credit card? Another key difference is a debit card will not build you a credit score, whereas a credit card will. So let's say down the road you want to buy a house, you want to get a mortgage, you want to get a car loan. Credit cards will help you build up that credit score so you can have some credit worthiness to apply for that new home. And what about fraud? You know, some scumbag decides he wants to steal your credit card or your debit card. They live in their mother's basement and they're going to try to get as much money from you as possible. Well, if they steal your debit card or your credit card, both of them do come with a little bit of fraud protection, but there's a big difference. With a debit card, typically what will happen is that you have to wait for the fraud claim to be cleared to get your money back. This actually happened to me a couple years ago when I was only using a debit card. Somebody got a hold of my number, they spent well over $100 on various different purchases. By the time I called the bank, they were already long gone. So the problem with that was I had to then wait for the bank to do the research, find the claim, and figure it out. I had to wait about 2 weeks to get my $100 back, and during that entire time, I was out $100. And just imagine if you get frauded for more than that. You're out of that money. That's out of your bank account. It's gone until they figure it out and redeposit. With a credit card, typically they will give you a provisional credit if any type of fraudulent activity happens. With the provisional credit, you don't have to worry about your money going away. You just simply move on until they figure out where the fraudster is. They get them, they lock them in prison, and they beat them to death. Or rather, they just resolve the claim and give you your money back. But why do I actually use my credit card like a debit card? Because of the cashback rewards. And you know, I always come with receipts. On this channel, I will never recommend something that I don't personally do or use. And right here's a good example. Here we are in my American Express account. You can see reward dollar balance of $525.50. Now what I do throughout the entire year, we build this balance up and then we use it for Christmas gifts at the end of the year. Now remember, you can also use this for travel. Let's say you like going on cruises or you want to build up a bunch of airplane miles. That's perfectly fine too. Ride the wave, have some fun with it, and that's just another alternative. But what I personally like doing right now is using it for cashback rewards. Doesn't really matter what credit card you get in this case. The reason I have this American Express card is because it gives me up to 6% cash back on groceries, 3% on streaming, and 3% on gas. We're a family of 4, we travel in the car a lot, we spend a lot of money on groceries, and this 6% cashback is pretty darn cool. So as you can see, it has really helped us rack up quite a bit of the amount of money in this period of time. So how did I get this, and how can you do this too? Well, this is what the banks don't want you to know. Now the banks, what they want, what these credit card companies want, is they want you to just say, hey, I have this big, large balance, I'm just gonna use it and I'll figure it out later. And then all of a sudden you carry a balance and they get to charge you 14% interest and make a lot of money off of you. But there are 3 important notes. Number 1, this does take a little bit of responsibility. So you need to make sure you have a monthly budget and that you stick with that monthly budget. You can only buy the things that you need. Credit cards are designed so you spend more than you should. But the goal is you have a budget so you know exactly what you need to spend and you don't care about how large your credit limit is. Number 2, if you live in an area that charges you a convenience fee for using a credit card, this isn't the way to go. Because who wants to spend extra money anyway? That's kind of what we don't want. We want to get cashback rewards. We don't want to be spending cashback on convenience. Number 3, don't fall for this typical quote. Well, why do all this on this video? This is easy. You just pay off your credit card in full every month. Those are famous last words. Don't fall for that trap. A lot of people will say, well, I'll just pay a lot of stuff. I'll leave all that money in my checking account. I'll use my credit cards and I'll just pay them off at the end of the month. I'm not gonna need to track it on a budget or a spreadsheet or anything like that. I'll just pay it off. Well, the problem with that is that is the credit card's game. They want you to trip up sometime. They want you to think, I think I still have $100. Let me buy this. You swipe the card and then all of a sudden, oh crap, I didn't have the $100, which means they're gonna carry that $100 balance over to the next month. Guess what? They get their 14%. So here's exactly how I got this $525.50. I have a transaction register and I built this in Microsoft Excel. It's nothing fancy. This is just how it works. Over here on the far column, column G, this is a balance and it automatically updates. Every time I make money or spend money, this balance automatically updates. Now, what I use over here in column A is a few descriptions. T stands for transfer. Anytime I want to transfer money into my savings account or something like that. AP stands for automatic payment. In this example, Lovelon does charge a convenience fee if I use my credit card, so I'm not going to do that. Instead, I did an automatic payment directly out of my checking account. Here we have D, that means deposit. I got money from my job. That's great, $200. There we go. And then the last one is Amex, American Express. This is my credit card. This is me treating my credit card. It doesn't matter whether you use an Amex card, Amazon Rewards Prime card, Chase, it doesn't really matter. You choose whatever credit card works best for you and what the rewards are that you're seeking, whether that's travel or cash back. As the month goes on and I swipe that credit card, I immediately come in here and I update it on my transaction register. Now, my budget every month is about $900 for grocery. Remember, we're a family of 4, we're gonna spend a little bit more on groceries. But here's the balance right now. I know I have $157, as you can see it kind of bleeds down there, in my checking account. But let's take a look and see if I have any new Amex charges because we in fact just went to Publix to buy some groceries. Indeed, right there it is. We have a November 20th pending payment to Publix for $69.22. So what I'll do is I'm gonna come over here. I'm going to say Amex. Simply type that in, A-M-E-X, on 11/20 for Publix. And just to verify, that is $69.22. Hop back over here, type in $69.22 under the payment. I'm gonna hit enter, and as you can see, it automatically updates. I now have $88.13 left on my checking account until I get paid next. Okay, that's fine. If we hop back over here, we can then see I have a 1709 for November 9th in Publix, but look, it's right up here. There's that 1709, so it looks like we're all clear and everything's good. Now remember, that is the budget. We have $900, we're gonna get paid a little bit more here, but at the end of the month, I can't spend more than $900 in Publix. That's my supermarket, that's my grocery store, that's what we're gonna spend. That's it. Now, because I spent $69.22, I'm gonna get 6% cash back on that amount at the end of the month with American Express. But I'm always focused right here. I'm not focused on my bank account because remember, it's not actually out of my bank account right now. In my bank account, it's gonna show, most likely right now, it's gonna show $226.15 because all of these Amex charges have not actually been paid out of my bank account yet. I'm just doing it this way so I can keep track and actually look at how much money I have left to spend. And that's the real key of the responsibility. You gotta keep an eye on this and say, okay, I only have $88.13 left in my transaction register. If I hop over and I look at my bank account and I think I have $226, I'm in for real trouble because I might spend more than I need to. At the end of the month, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at my American Express statement or whatever your credit card statement is. You just look at your credit card statement and then we're gonna go through and we're gonna use this column right here, column E. And we're gonna verify every single payment that we made. Is it matching up? Was it $40.40? If so, I'll put a Y and that indicates yes. And then I'm gonna come down here, oh, got the Publix, we got the Paramount Plus going on, and we got the other Publix. And then once that's all verified and good, I will then go and pay off my credit card in full. And guess what? I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about if I had the money because I already tracked it here. Now you might be asking, can I get the Excel document? Well, the last time on the last video, I gave you access to it and it crashed my website every time because people keep clicking on it, and I'm sorry I can't keep up with that. So stay tuned, I will have that available in the near future. But now what about an alternative? Let's say you're like, well, wait a minute, I have a problem. I can't actually get a credit card because I either live in an area that charges ridiculous convenience fees, or I don't have the credit worthiness to actually get a credit card. I'm gonna get declined, it's gonna suck. Is there another option? Well, yes, there is. And I actually use this as well. It's called the Point Debit Card. And the cool thing about the Point Debit Card is that it acts just like a credit card and gives you rewards, anywhere from 1% to 20% cash back depending on the merchant. I personally have been using this card for fun money outside of what I've showed you and have been using it for the last 7 months. Now this is an app that allows you to transfer money from your bank account into the Point app. Let me show you exactly how it works. So every time I swipe my Point debit card, you can see my current balance in the Point app is $636.55, and you can see my recent transactions. Got a little bit of Starbucks going on, Panda Express, things like that. What I use this for is truly, call it my flexible spending account, where I can just go out, have a little bit of an allowance of just enjoying myself and doing whatever I want, but I'm also getting some cashback rewards. And if I ever draw too much down, let's say I go out to Target right now, I swipe the Point debit card and it's for $700. Well, my balance is only $636. It'll actually decline the transaction. And that's what's nice about this Point debit card is it kind of keeps you in balance with what you have going on. But then if I hop over right down here to my rewards, you can see I got Starbucks 7 points, I got 24 on Sun Creek, and look, there are different times that they give you bonus points. So anytime I swipe at a coffee shop, you get 5% cash back. Now everything's 1%, but there are accelerators that can go up to 20% cash back. I think I've even seen 30% at one point, but right now they're running a deal on coffee shops. Then what I can do is I can cash out these points. Every dollar equals a point for cash back. And what they do is they take those points, they put it back into your Point account, and now you have free money to play with. Let's hop over here, I'll show you exactly how this actually works. Look, right now, you can get 15% cash back on any purchases with Nike. You can get 5% with GoPuff. You can get 10% cash back with Clear. You can get 5% on Whole Foods. You see, you can just, and they change this every single month. 5% cash back on Amazon. Now, if you're gonna swipe it in a place that is not something that already gives you cash back, you're automatically gonna get 1% no matter what. Now, the Point card does come with an annual fee, but with up to 20% on select merchants and 1% everywhere else, as long as you use this, it well outweighs that annual fee. But to make it even cooler, if you're interested in getting the Point debit card, for a limited time, anyone who uses my affiliate link in the description below will get a $100 statement credit for the very first transaction that you make with the Point card. It's a great way to get started and avoid at least your first year's annual fee. But that's the key, stay on a debt, avoid those interest charges, and do what the bank doesn't want you to do. Use a credit card like a debit card, or take a debit card and use those cashback rewards. If you enjoyed the video, share it so other people can take advantage, and check out this video next, and until next time, we'll see you on the next video.